Hi there, welcome to my channel where I take you on tours of unique homes and showcase stories of people living alternatively. In this week's episode, we're traveling to California to meet Miguel, an earthen builder who built a cob house out of natural and recycled materials. Miguel will guide us through the process of making cob, give us a tour of his creations, and explain the advantages of building with earth. And if you like videos like this, where we showcase stories of people building unique homes, make sure that you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you know every single time we publish a new episode.
I've done at least about 280 earthen structures. That's ranging from ovens, wood-fired pizza ovens, to benches, to saunas, cabins, little huts. The oldest structures on the planet are built out of earth because there's a lot of places where you just can't go and buy other materials. You just use what's readily available. This actually is where I made my Adobe bricks for the Hobbit Cobbin. This is the earth material I used. Got this wet, added some straw to it, some sand, and put it into forms and made a bunch of bricks. So I had probably at least a couple hundred Adobe bricks just drying out in the sun here. I was just able to kind of carve right into the hill to get my material, so it didn't have to go far. I'll just kind of show you here how you can just work with the earth right from your property. You can just take some water and put it into the earth, and then you just kind of mix it up with your hands. Then you can kind of get in there with your feet, and it's already getting nice and soft. And then you can add some straw, and then we're just getting the straw just right from here, just grass that's been cut. And so now here you have a nice cob ball, right? Voila. So this is what I use to build my houses. So the word cob actually means a rounded lump of mass, right? So that's what this is. And then this goes on the walls, and it's amazing. When this dries, it's just rock hard solid, right? And it just feels like this is how we're meant to build with the earth. We're not gonna run out of this material, and this is built to last. The Play-Doh for adults. Some of the advantages of working with a cob house, there are a lot of them. Number one reason is that it's fun, and that's what makes it sustainable for me. That makes me want to keep on doing it over and over again. I love doing it, the whole creative process. And then of course the whole environmental component too. In the production of cement, it causes a lot of pollution, and whereas the earth, there's no carbon footprint at all. Brown is the new green, in construction. Most of the houses that I build now are pallets. So I call it a palatable cobbin. I'll have my uprights supporting the roof, and then I'll attach my pallets, and then I'll get straw for the insulation, either straw or cardboard or foam or clothes or sometimes even plastic trash. I'll put that inside the pallets as an insulation, and then I'll get my cob mixture, my sand, clay, straw mix that up, and then put that over the pallets. And then I'll put my windows and glass blocks and decorative bottles, and then I'll do my roof, put my living roof on. And so with everything, that usually takes about 2 months. If I'm resourceful, I can build a structure for $1,000 in materials, pretty much less than most other kind of conventional construction. This here is a structure. It's actually a wooden shed. You can see here this side is just, like just regular wood. And I put the cob over the wood. So with this one, I went ahead actually stapled chicken wire to the wood first, and then put like about a good inch of cob over the wood, let that dry, and then did a lime plaster over that. So it's kind of a cob stucco. So what do I call it? Stuccob. right? So that makes the structure more fire resilient, right? And it makes it better insulated, and it makes it more termite proof, and certainly more decoratively interesting. And so you can, you know, embed little shells into it, arch out the doorway, and you could actually encase a whole house, which I think is it's a great idea to help to fireproof a structure, especially here in California. Hello, welcome to the Hobbit Cobbin. This is a structure I built about 10 years ago. This is using Adobe bricks, right? So I made a couple hundred Adobe bricks up in the field out of the clay and sand and straw. I actually had uprights to support the roof and then put the Adobe brick in between. So actually this is how I heat up the space, is there's an oven here and the dome of the oven is on the inside, so I can make a fire here, and then the heat can go through the bed. It goes under the bed, and then the smoke comes out the chimney here. And here's the shower. And has the toilet, the sink. The sink is actually an old bird bath, right? So this is an old bird bath that I used, and the walls are actually pallets filled with straw and covered in an earthen cob plaster, and then I did a lime plaster then over that with some iron oxides to give it the color. And then yeah, put these stained glass in. Actually at night it looks really cool. There's LED lights inside the stained glass. Those light up. It has the option too, if you can have a roof or not. So when it's summer, I'll just take this plastic off so we have it nice and open, you know, to the trees above. But then once it gets, you know, kind of towards rainy season, I'll just cover it up again. So I tend to build my structures pretty small. Most of when I do a cobbin in people's backyards, it's usually like 120 square feet. And I do it small so that I don't need to get permits for it, right? So here in California, if you build a structure under 120 square feet, then you don't have to get a permit for it. So these are three separate structures here. I did the sleeping space as one 120 square foot unit. I did a bathroom shower next to it, and the kitchenette as another separate unit. Keep it under the 120 square foot limit. And you see this has a nice living roof on it. I just put succulents on this one. Succulents are great because they take very little maintenance. I rarely ever have to water them. But sometimes I could also put like strawberries and edibles and herbs. And the nice thing about the living roof is it helps to keep it cooler, you know, in the summertime, right? So it kind of blocks the heat from coming in. I'll show you the sleeping cobbin. So here we are in the inside of the Hobbit Cobbin, and so you can see here it's got some fun decorative features with the bottle stars and the stained glass. It's got this nice bottle star. At night, when it's kind of lit up with the lights inside the stained glass, it looks kind of like a rocket ship, so I jokingly call it Bottle Star Galacticob. There used to be a fish tank in here, but I wasn't around enough. So now we just have this opening, have some plants, have this little wishing well there. This is the dome for the oven, right? So the door for the oven is on the outside, and so I can make a fire from the outside, and then this gets nice and warm. And then if I want my hot water for tea, I can just pour cold water right here, coils around the inside of the oven, and comes out hot water here. So it's really nice. So when this is warm, I can lay down here, lay up against this nice warm dome, and then the flue, the chimney of the oven goes under the bed, right? So it warms up the bed, so that's really nice. This is a really well insulated structure. When it's hot outside, it's considerably cooler in here, and you know, when it's cold outside, it also it's warmer. So this is really smart building. And continuing our tour, here's our little kitchenette here. So Super tiny, but it's all I need really. It's got my little sink here. It's got my stove here. It's a gas stove. Little fridge. I have a nice view of the field behind where I got my material to build the structure. These walls actually are built out of pallets. So same with the shower. So this was pallets filled with straw covered in cob. And then I did a lime wash over that. So basically it's got lime and water with an oxide and painted it. So I built this pretty quick. In just a couple weeks it was all built. How's the kitchen? I'll show you the sauna. So this here is Adobe and cob. So there's the Adobe up to here, and then did a cob dome on top of that, and then put some nice colored bottles on the ceiling to bring in some colored light. Here we are in the inside of the sauna. We actually call this the Om Dome because it has amazing acoustics for doing Om. So you can see here it has the barrel, 50-gallon barrel drum. So you make a fire from the outside, and then the barrel gets really hot, and then you pour water on that, and then it steams up. And you can fit about 6 people comfortably in here. And I've actually put a board going across here, a nice piece of plywood, and a mattress, and use this as a sleeping space, right? And that's really nice. I love sleeping in this space and just have amazing dreams inside. And it's just a really good place to just sit and meditate, and you can't really hear any sounds from the outside. And it's way cooler inside here. So on a hot day, you walk in here and it's like at least 20 degrees cooler inside. So that's great. So I built this in 2008. So this was over like almost 15 years ago I built this. I think every man needs a dome. Every man needs a cave. Actually across the street from here I worked on building a memorial bench and a tower to hold the newspapers in. And that actually is the very first permitted cob structure in California, because I had to get an encroachment permit to build that because it's on city property. So I basically just got a 4x4 here and then put Adobe bricks around that, and then cobbed over that, and then did a nice earthen plaster and a coat of linseed oil and a final coat of linseed oil and beeswax. And it's holding up great, and did a nice little living roof on it, some succulents. These are abalone shells. So when I embed abalone into cob, what do I call it? Cobbalone. And you can put a little candle right here, and so it's like a little candle holder, and so that kind of makes the abalone shell shimmer, and it's kind of a nice little decorative feature. And then this bench here, so built this, and the back of the bench is Adobe bricks, and then all covered in cob, and I did a nice lime plaster over that, and then did a coat of linseed oil over that. And I find that these benches are, they're very comfortable, very hard opening. I like to think that cob bench sitters have a longer lifespan because they're opening their heart as they're sitting on this form-fitting bench, and very, very comfortable and relaxing. And it has nice drainage holes, so when the water goes here, it can drain down and go into these little holes at the end, come out this hole here. Building with earth, it's a different pace. It's not so much about expediency. It's more about enjoying the process. It's very healing, to have that sense of satisfaction, and it gives you a sense of purpose, and you're learning a good skill, and you're working with other people. There's this misconception that building with earth is somehow inferior in quality than something built out of cement. There just needs to be more education done to show that this is a possibility. If locally sourced building materials are available, those should be used over something manufactured in a factory far away. And if it's environmentally sound and it's going to last a whole long time and it has a very low carbon footprint, then that should be encouraged. Hopefully it'll soon be recognized as a dignified way of building.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you'd like to see more tours of unique homes, such as natural built homes like the one we saw today, make sure you check out the playlist linked in the description, and I will see you soon with another unique home tour.